Hi, I'm Daniel,
And I'm Ruth.
and this is
Hello.
Israel Uncovered. And today we're going to talk about the A word, antisemitism. Brrr.
Brrr.
We're going
Yeah,
to talk Kanye,
we're going to talk
we're going to
Kanye.
talk campuses, we're going to talk governments, like what's going on and why is the world refusing to understand that it's a legitimate problem?
Yeah. So,
That's a small question.
yeah. And also the things being done to combat it. So there was an AI video which came out
Yeah.
a couple of days ago, and the mixed reactions to that.
Explain what the video was.
So the video was of various Jewish celebrities, including Scarlett Johansson, David Schwimmer, Mila Kunis, various, who many of them have remained quite silent over the past 16 months. And it was a video of them wearing a T-shirt with a "Fuck you, Kanye" image on it, and it was all
It
made.
went viral.
It went viral, but it was made with AI, and has caused a bit of a stir, for both good and bad. So
Yeah, I
but
guess a lot of people were frustrated, like why those celebrities not speaking up in the first place, and why is everyone silent, and it takes for like an AI video to use their faces. My personal view on it is like, well, they didn't choose to share that message, so why are you exploiting their image and celebrity to share that message?
which I
Right.
agree with that.
And by the way, and also like if it's AI, I feel like people know it's AI as well. So it's like it just kind of like dilutes the power. But it is a viral video and it does send a strong message. So I also understand why people would want to share
Yeah,
it, because it's a kind of like fuck you, Kanye. There's a lot of famous
yeah.
Jews and we all hate this
Well,
shit.
should we also say what Kanye put out on the
Yes.
Super Bowl?
Yep.
So do you want to expand on that?
Well, I mean,
He put.
You want me to expand on it? Or do you want to expand on it?
Yeah. You.
Okay. So he bought a 30-second spot, a commercial on the Super Bowl. So 130 million people saw something he filmed at the dentist saying, hey, go to my website, yeezy.com. Then people arrived on the website and there's only one product selling. It's a white t-shirt with a black swastika for $20. So basically that's what happened.
That's what happened, and it were a very clear,
Right,
insightful message to hate
right.
to millions and millions of people.
Right. And also like with a symbol that is universally recognized as something bad and evil.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, his crazy comments about
Right.
2 years ago, where he was seriously reprimanded.
Right.
He was seriously reprimanded, but doesn't seem to have learnt a lesson. No real remorse from him. Just wants to continue to spout his crazy hatred.
Right. But to me, that's also like the question, like, do you treat it as like, oh, he's just crazy, whatever, and he's just a celebrity, or like, do we have a serious anti-Semitism problem?
It's a bit of both, I think. I think there are people in the industries he is in who have the power to put a stop to it and are choosing not to.
Right.
And that for me is the most frustrating thing, because I do know the head honchos of.
Do they have the power to put a stop to it, though? I mean, they didn't have the power to get Kamala elected.
That's true. That's true. But I think heads of record labels and
Right.
Stop giving him so much.
Stop giving him a megaphone and accepting that. I mean, and by the way, his management dropped him and said we don't want anything to do with him.
Okay.
Also,
Adidas is no.
I don't know. I know everyone will drop him.
Yeah.
And also like I believe they shut down the website and that you cannot buy that anymore.
Oh, okay.
But to me, the interesting thing is, and it's really funny because how do I frame it in a way that is not offensive? I like Kanye, and I think he's a creative genius.
Yes.
And I like his music.
Agreed.
And I think like all creative geniuses, he's incredibly talented at putting up a mirror to society and puts a finger on the issue that really matters. Now, it's kind of what I told you. I don't know if he did it with good intentions or bad intentions. I don't know what's inside his brain. But what I know is he showed that you're able to buy a spot in the Super Bowl, put a 30-second ad film on your iPhone, direct people to a website, and sell a white T-shirt with a swastika on it. Now, and then people stop, condemn it, whatever. So that's, that's where we're at. And by the way, I think he does the same when he rocks up at the
Grammys.
At the Grammys
with his girlfriend.
With a naked girlfriend.
With a naked girlfriend.
And he knows everyone's going to be outraged. This is disgusting. This is objectified women.
But he wants that.
Yes. And he's also able to push the envelope to the extreme that the world sees what is acceptable and permissible.
Yeah.
So you are able to rock up with a girlfriend, friend, whatever model, fully naked, and everyone will publish it, and everyone will talk about it. Oh my God, isn't it outrageous? Right. This, that, debate, this, the other. And he thrives on controversy, and he gets the controversy, but at the same time...
And Kanye lives on.
Exactly. But he's putting the finger on something really important, that we live in a world where objectifying a woman's body and parading her naked in a red carpet is doable. Yeah. And so is to sell like a white T-shirt with a black swastika and buying a spot in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So, and that's why I'm actually grateful to Kanye for just making it happen to make us aware about the zeitgeist. You see what I mean? Again, do I think it's the right thing to do? No, I also don't think it's the right thing to do to bring a naked woman into a red carpet. Right. So, but at the same time, it's showing you how far it can be taken if action is not taken.
Yes.
And I think that's why it's really interesting. And, I don't know if he's mad. I don't know if he's got mental issues. I don't know if he has evil intentions. I don't know if he has good intentions. It doesn't matter. The fact is, in America, in 2025, you can do that. You can buy that on the Super Bowl and put that on a line to be bought, and you can do that on a red carpet. So that's to me the question that be. And by the way, the other really interesting thing is that everyone was
not only that, all over the world it has been made acceptable to tear down posters of Jewish hostages.
Well, of course.
That's
but there a person can say, yeah, but it's propaganda, it's not in our country, it's part of a PR battle. But with this, is in America, a local celebrity selling you a white T-shirt with a swastika on it, and there's nothing else to buy on the website. So there's zero ambiguity, just like with the naked woman. Yeah. This is a naked woman on a red carpet at the Grammys. And I think that's why he's brilliant, because there's no political debate around it, there's no ambiguity about it, and his ability to do that is what is brilliant. And so I think and again, I'm just looking at it as a spectator, so it's interesting. To me, the most interesting thing is, like I said, to me, October 7th wasn't my eye-opening moment. It was October 8th.
Completely.
So with this, also, the outrage, to me, wasn't when Kanye did that. It was the day after, that there was zero condemnation, he's just crazy, whatever. When 2 weeks ago, Elon Musk does an awkward hand movement, and everyone up in arms, he's a Nazi, he's this, and everyone here was just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
We were, weren't we? We were like, what? The whole world was like,
how is all the left woke?
Again, it was
progressive people
envy.
Everyone's just missing the point.
Missing the point. But going back to Elon Musk has been very successful on so many levels, and people are jealous of and envious.
But my point is, how can you have all the left progressive media and people in the world grabbing onto something so stupid and so dumb, and then you have something so clearly and easy to condemn happening on the fucking Super Bowl, and everyone is like, he's just got mental health issues. It's like, it's really funny, because actually the one to condemn there is not Kanye, is the system, and is the website, and is the people selling that item, and is the network showcasing that advert. So again, it's really interesting how all the people that were outraged about Elon Musk for an awkward hand movement are like, but Kanye is just like a silly celebrity. And by the way, to me, that's also like the essence of anti-Semitism today, which is always like, but that's a couple of crazy people. That's nonsense.
No, the fact that you can go on Amazon anywhere in the world. There's a whole load of merchandise from the river to the sea.
It's the same.
It's the same, and you can just click and buy it, and it's still available. It's not, none of it's been pulled down.
But that's my point. Everyone in Israel understands that from the river to the sea to an Israeli is the same as to say the final solution in 1940s.
Yeah.
But because it's an ambiguous message, and for a lot of people,
it's not ambiguous.
No, I mean for the rest of the world. They don't understand. They don't know what river. They don't know which sea. They don't know what they're saying with that slogan. For everyone here, it's clear.
Yeah.
For most people, it's not. And that's my point, because there's all this gray area in the minds of people, but there's no gray area when you sell like one item on your website and it happens to be a white t-shirt with a black swastika on it.
Yeah.
But people still choose to remain silent.
Yes.
And that's what's really fascinating.
Fascinating.
All the politicians, the AOC, all the people that were outraged by the Elon Musk, all of a sudden are like, nah, nothing to worry about here. He's just like a crazy celebrity. So to me, that's the fascinating part about it. And anti-Semitism is a very real problem. And I keep getting conversations with people saying, no, it's just a political thing. It's blown out of proportion, and that is like it's worrying.
I think for me again, I was in London last week. I've come back. It's become very clear to me why I moved here and the difference for me and the life I lead in the UK, in London and the UK. Everyone is kind of okay with living in this lie. A very big lie that everyone's all right with things being covered up and swept under the carpet, and let's not really address it, and let's not and that to me actually has become exhausting to live with. Whereas here, the truth isn't always that pretty, but it's the truth, and it's real, and it's very
you tackle it. We're dealing with this terrorist organization, basically, because there's no option either.
There's no other option, but Israelis don't know how to cover things up. They're very real. They're very authentic. And in the UK, it's like, oh no, let's say this, but really we mean this, and let's do
political correctness.
Political correctness, and it's so refreshing for me to live in somewhere truthful, even though it's not always that pretty.
Yeah, people here are pretty blunt and upfront.
Yeah,
that's true. Whether you think they're right, wrong, disagree. Lots of people here disagree about everything.
And we love to argue among ourselves. Correct. But I'd take that any day of the week.
Nobody shouts out from political correctness.
Than to live under, actually, that person is better at that job. We're going to employ that person because that's the politically right thing to do.
Yeah.
No.
It's true. It's true. I totally agree. So anyway, I think interesting times. I also say, there's a reason why 4 presidents of the biggest, most highly reputed, from the Ivy Leagues in the US lost their jobs, and that is because of anti-Semitism and deemed by the court. So again, it is a very real problem, and what we see in campuses is not humanitarian, is not people, peace-loving people. What you see in the streets is not people that are like their hearts are broken for the suffering. It's not.
It's plain Jew hatred.
It's hate masked as social justice, which, by the way, anti-Semitism, it doesn't matter if it was in the Spanish Inquisition or in the Nazi time, there was also like in a mask of social justice and greater good. So if people don't see that as this is the canary in the coal mine where people are ringing the alarm, and by the way, last week I also received a text message from a very old friend from London, from university. She's Jewish, and her family, they're British for many, 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 many generations. Yeah. And she told me and my family are moving to Israel this summer. Wow. We've got a one-way ticket.
Wow.
She was like, I just can't have my kids growing up here.
Also, I just want to say that actually this year has seen one of the biggest influxes of people making Aliyah, which is becoming citizens of Israel. So I think the number is, I'm pretty sure it's around 34,000 have moved from the diaspora to Israel over the past 16 months.
And sadly,
and that is very, very telling of how the world is right now.
Well, yeah, and sadly, because I don't see it getting better, especially in Europe, I think those numbers are going to be higher and higher. Yeah. And it's not because Tel Aviv or Jerusalem are nicer or more comfortable than London or Paris or Madrid.
No.
But it is because people don't really have an option for especially people with young kids and stuff. So people are not moving into a war zone in the Middle East, learn a new language, find a new job find a new network that people have been living for many generations, that were, in Spain or in France or in Germany or in England, is not because it's more fun or more comfortable to live here.
Well, the sun shines. That really does help, especially for people like from the UK.
Exactly.
But that is
no, but you know, people know what they're getting into,
right.
And yes, there are things that are lovely and nice about living here,
but it's also very difficult.
It's massively challenging to uproot to a family from a country and start a new life somewhere else. But more people will do it because the situation in Europe is not gonna get better, and that's the bottom line. So those that have the ability to do it will do it, and it's going to be more and more. And I'm grateful that there is a place like Israel that there is an option for them to do that.
And I think that's what also makes our fight for very real. And thank God,
we know what the alternative is. You know, if you're not Jewish, you don't know what the alternative is. We know it. We know what the alternative is here, and we know what the alternative is in Europe.
For Jewish people globally, thank God for Israel. But for everyone else who are living in countries and denial, I feel for them, because they don't have an Israel to go to. They've got to live with
whatever shit
whatever shit is coming into their country.
But again, I also
think, is already in their country.
Yeah, I think kind of like the rug is being pulled slowly from under their feet, and one day they're gonna wake up and they'll be at war or conquered, or just they'll realize that these policies of political correctness are just not gonna. It's too late. It's too late to reverse course, and it's sad because again, I am European and I'm Spanish and I love Europe. And Madrid is my favorite city in the world. And is where I had the most fun.
I've actually never been to Madrid.
It's actually it's the best.
Okay.
It's the best, and it's where I feel most comfortable, when I have more fun, where I have the best shopping, where I have the best food, where the people are the nicest and the most elegant and the most beautiful.
Well, I will be joining you.
But that's what I mean. It doesn't. My point is that it doesn't come from a place of hate against Europe. It actually comes from a place of love, of how much I love Europe, and how sad. And again, I think the same for you in London. It comes from a place of like how sad it is to witness what is happening.
So sad.
It's sad.
So sad. And I really am going through a grief process, because it's frightened me, actually.
So that's the choice, I think, for anyone in England or in Europe. Do you choose to approach it as a grief process and say, I can't believe this has happened to my country? Do you go through a denial process, which is like, we're fine? Do you go through a combative process, which is also what's happening in Europe? It's like, we need to reverse course. And that's where you're going to see all these like crazy right-wing governments stepping in, which, by the way, is also not great.
So I would say that I would have liked to have been able to tackle it. And I thought the way of tackling anti-Semitism quite a few years ago was by strengthening the Jewish community.
Right.
That was kind of my way.
And it is a way.
That was a way, but I wasn't really listened to. And so, again, I was just, like I kind of felt like it's a bit of a lost cause in the UK,
right?
Because this denial is so there that there's no real penetrating it.
Yeah,
there's really very little you can do to penetrate the denial of what's really happening.
Yeah, and I do think that the tip of that denial, and always, like I said, the canary in the coal mine is anti-Semitism and Jews. And that's what you're seeing in Europe. You ask anyone about, like, so what do you think anti-Semitism? They'll say, like, no, but it's fine. It's just blown out of proportion because of the gas and this and that. So that denial always starts with Jews suffering in your countries. And that's why always the result and the outcome of anti-Semitism in your society, not here, is chaos and decay of democracy. And nothing good is going to happen as the next stage, and nothing good is going to happen for the Muslim in your country, for the Christians in your country, for your institutions, for your democracies. So that's why, in a way, is the canary in the coal mine. Is, this is the most vulnerable population. It's a tiny minority, whether you're in England or in Spain or in France. And the moment they're in pain and exiting and screaming on the top of the lungs, there's a huge problem here. The moment you say, nah, that's a political thing, blown out of proportion, it's just a few people upset about Gaza, and you just weaponizing your suffering to be on Israel, or the government or Israel horrible policies to make Palestinians suffer. That's the view. That's what people think, which is sad state of affairs. But they'll come to Israel. they won't have the incredible, comfortable life they have in Europe, but they'll have another version of that incredible life because it's a great country. And the people in Europe will be left to deal with this mess.
Yeah.
If and when they figure out that there is chaos.
Choose to accept that they are in a mess.
Right. That's why I say. So it's like an alcoholic. It's like until they don't accept
what the problem is. Yeah.
No chat for hate. So on that depressing
but also, please let us know if you're struggling with it or trying to understand it and you want us to maybe tackle a different part of anti-Semitism. Please let us know.
Yeah, it's true. We did get some feedback from the last
we want to
episode,
hear
which
from
was
you.
Nice. Yeah, we also got some hate comments on our video, which we loved because it meant that lots of people started watching our videos.
Yeah, we had over 400 views.
So again, it's like we love to hear everything. We're not faced by positive comments
or
negative comments, all of them, suggestions. So I think to your point, just let us know if there's anything else. Also, like we spoke about some stuff like rebranding Israel, and a lot of people felt that we should talk more about it. They wanted to hear more about it. So again, let us know, and that's what we're here, and we'd love to hear from everyone out there. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.